My name is Jason Lear. I'm the Director of Sales for ViperTech CBD and for Arise Cannabis. We've just purchased a few weeks ago our model number 1 Hippo variable speed hammer mill. ViperTech CBD is a cryo ethanol extraction lab. And we expect, once fully optimized, to be running 2,500 to 3,000 pounds of dried hemp biomass per day. We did quite a bit of research and ended up procuring a variable speed Hippo hammer mill because we thought that it was going to be just the right size and capacity to process and mill the material appropriately for our purposes, which is to say usually somewhere between about a 1/4 inch and an 1/8 of an inch grind. We're currently using the 1-inch screen, although we do expect to experiment as we get different types of material. One of the things that's, we could call it an issue or a challenge in the hemp processing industry today is there's very little bit of standardization at this point. So you see a wide variety in terms of the crop genetics, the way that the crops are actually grown, and then the way that they're harvested, and all of those differences lead to differences in the way that you process the material, and then ultimately even the way that we're going to extract the material in our cryoethanol lab. We'll be producing a wide variety of CBD products for the marketplace. The first that comes off the line when it comes to the cryoethanol extraction system is going to be raw, crude CBD oil. We'll then take and winterize and decarboxylate the oil. That prepares it for the next levels of refinement and further processing. And then through our own labs and partner labs, we'll be using molecular distillation to create a CBD distillate product. And then we'll also be taking that all the way to CBD isolate, as well as making other products like water-soluble CBD and custom blends, extracts of CBN, CBG, and a variety of other cannabinoids. We're definitely at the beginning of, or the frontier of, one of the biggest developing markets in the world. So we'd like to think that we know quite a bit about what we're getting into, but the reality is everybody is just kind of guessing about what's going to be the big next thing in the world of CBD and other cannabinoids. That once the system is optimized, and I mean we've literally been running it for a week or two already, just looking at the speed, it's going to be a lot faster than our throughput on our cryoethanol rig, so we fully expect that, it'll handle this and probably double the footprint of that type of extraction unit. When we're processing hemp, we're ideally shooting for a moisture content of somewhere potentially even under 10%, but up to 12 to 15% is probably going to work fine for our purposes. Right now, because of the ambient Oregon weather though, we may be processing anywhere up to 25 or 30% moisture humidity content, and it doesn't seem to be any problem as far as running the mill. Particularly, I think, because the variable speed drive is really meeting our expectations. We've actually found there's a significant difference, even changing that hertz frequency just a little bit in terms of the processing speed and the size of the particles that come out of the process. And because there's so much irregularity and inconsistency in hemp product, we need that ability to regulate the speed. Other people are using everything from wood chippers to combines to hammer mills to other products that were not intended for hemp, since there isn't really anything been invented for hemp yet at this time. But we find that the power of the unit given and the control of the variable speed drive seems to be working really well for hemp.
We're Octave Labs. We do a cryogenic ethanol extraction. We do about 5,000 pounds a day. We use the Hippo mill to get it to the right particle size in order to achieve an optimal efficiency in the extraction. We sell anything from decarb crude to distillate to isolate to THC-free distillate to CBG isolate. We do everything. 10 to 15% moisture level. We actually took the screen out. We decided that the mill grinds it to such a fine particle size. We just want it to go through as fast as possible. I haven't had any problems with clogging as far as when the material comes in at the right prepped levels, and yeah, we took the screen out. The smaller the particle size, the quicker we can extract, and also the higher the efficiency is of the oil coming out, higher percentage. It's been very user friendly, pretty straightforward. You turn it on, you put the hemp in, and it comes out milled on the other side.
Raphael here with USA Hemp. We're a family-owned farm in Oregon. We've been growing 300 acres of hemp since 2016. We decided to try about 6 different hammer mills in the industry, and the best one we've come across so far is the baby Hippo. It's allowed us to achieve roughly 20% higher yields in our extraction. So a big part of our CO2 extraction process is having the particle in just the right size. We can't have it too fine or it'll clog our filters, and if it's too coarse, we don't extract all of the available oil in the material. So this has allowed us to get just the right consistency using a 1-inch screen and a VFD with the speed around 1750. The hemp that we run through the hammer mill normally has a moisture content between 8 to 15%. However, we have ran material as high as 30% through, and it chopped it up just fine. The output rate for us is roughly 300 pounds an hour. We've had this hammer mill for roughly 6 months now, and we've been very happy. No problems whatsoever, and even whenever some foreign debris goes through, like rocks and whatnot, it just spits it right out. Being a vertically integrated company, we've got a pretty strong emphasis on our extraction. We currently do CO2 and ethanol extraction for full spectrum oil. That's taking it all the way to a crude and distillate.